The sheep knows the voice of his shepherd. The sheep hear his voice. Hear his voice. And he calls his sheep by name. He knows us. He knows my name. The shepherd knows my name. He knows who I am. He calls me by name. And then he says, and he leads them out. He leads them out. Some time ago, I have a friend in Namibia. I don't know if you can place it on the map somewhere. Namibia is southwest of South Africa, up north. He's a pastor. He's got a farm. He's got about 2,000 sheep. At least 500 goats. He's got quite a lot of cows, cattle. One afternoon late, we went to the farm, through the veld. We came there, and the sun was setting, and the sheep were all coming to the kraal. He had a small, the shepherd, the one that looks after the sheep, he had a small kraal on the side, a shack on the side. And William, that's his name, he went into the shack, he couldn't find the shepherd. And he was getting upset. He told me, these guys, they are unreliable, can't trust them. I'm sure he drank himself drunk and he went to visit some of the women somewhere. You know, he was quite upset because it's late, sun is down, the sheep are coming, and he's nowhere to be seen. But as time went on, and it's quite dark now, you know, people that grow up in the farms and stuff, I think they've got very good eyesight. At least he said, there, I see someone coming. I'm looking and looking, I can't see anyone, but he sees the person coming. And as the person came closer, he had 2 dogs with him, and he was coming very, very slow. And then when he was right with us, he had 4 young lambs that he was pushing on. And immediately William, the owner, his attitude changed. Because what happened, as they came back, these young ones, they were too weak to follow. And he stayed with them and pushed them. And this guy, his whole attitude changed. William. And I look at this and I say, wow, this man is a good shepherd. He brought these young ones. Beloved, we have a good shepherd. And he knows us by name. He knows us by name. Jesus says that he says the shepherd leads them out. He doesn't chase them out, he leads them out. And this is the thing about shepherds in the Middle East. They speak to their sheep and the sheep hear their voice. They spend time with the sheep know them. And when they walk, the sheep follows them. And this is our shepherd. He doesn't lead us, he doesn't chase us and say, go there. He walks in front of us. And he shows us the way. How we must do it. This is the good shepherd. He says further, the good shepherd. The sheep follows him. The sheep hear his voice. And the sheep knows his voice. When I read this, I felt, Lord, this is powerful. The sheep hear his voice. Can hear the voice of the shepherd. And the sheep knows his voice. He hears the voice and he knows the voice. I think there's a difference there. You can hear somebody call, but you know who's calling. I see we are mothers here and parents. When that child calls, you know he's calling. I've seen children, when the parent calls them, they hear the voice of the mother or the voice of the father. When we were kids, we could also hear the voice of my mom and we could hear the voice of my dad. When mom calls, we do not respond quickly. But when dad calls, you jump on your feet. Because you know if you do not respond, there's going to be serious problems. Now, here, Jesus says the sheep hears the voice and he knows the voice of the shepherd. And he says further, this morning, are we sheep of the flock of Jesus Christ? And all these people that are in different places, that allows themselves to listen to different voices, are they really sheep? Because here I read that the sheep hear the voice of the shepherd. And the sheep knows the voice of the shepherd. And the sheep will not follow a stranger. They will flee from the stranger because they don't know the voice of the stranger. Jesus speaks further. He says, I am the door of the sheep. And he says, if any man enters by me, if any man enters by me through the door, if any man enters, he shall be saved. He shall go out and he shall come in and he find pasture. I am the door. There's only one door. Today the world is in a mess. And there are so many doors. There are so many roads. So many paths. I don't even want to mention the things that's going on around us. But I do believe we know. Different religions, different ways. And everyone wants to say, all paths leads to God. All roads leads to God. All doors leads to God. That is not the truth. Jesus said at one time, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am life. He says here, I am the door of the sheep. If any man comes through the door, he will go in, he will come out, he will find pasture. He will be saved. No other way, no other door. Let there be no confusion among us, beloved, that we have one door. And that door is Jesus Christ.